So, I just got to see the brand new film from writer-director Guy Ritchie. This film was called The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, and it stars Henry Cavill in the leading role. This movie is a World War II action movie based on true events, in which Winston Churchill essentially sent this group of sort of rogue Suicide Squad-like agents, these people who were working for the British military, but at the same time were kind of like off the books, kind of expendable people, and they are sent to blow up this ship, or this kind of a few different ships in Africa, to stop the Nazis from being able to build and resupply submarines. Pretty simple, right? But that's not why you're coming to see this movie. You're not coming for the intricate plot. You're coming to see Henry Cavill and Alan Ritchson kick some absolute Nazi ass, and do you get that? You get some of it. I will say this movie has a great opening. The opening scene with Henry Cavill and Alan Ritchson, how they interact with some of the Nazis, and this whole thing that happens on this boat is really well designed. The action is brutal. The violence is graphic. Everything is done super well, and the fact that these characters are the way they are, just kind of being exactly what the title entails, these gentlemen in a way, these very nice guys who are very nonchalant about what they're doing. It is one of the most entertaining openings to an action movie I've seen, and it further proved to me why Henry Cavill should probably be playing James Bond. Now, outside of that scene, this movie wastes a lot of time. This is a movie that does a lot of talking when it probably, it needed to stop talking. This movie has a very long, drawn-out plot where it takes this Nazi character who had once to be a very big enemy character for the audience to really grapple onto and want to hate and want to see get killed and tackled. They try to build this character up in a similar way as Inglourious Basterds, how they build up the Nazi in there. The issue is this character is never really interesting, like, at all, and his whole arc that he has with Isaac Gonzalez's character, it just never really works, and you kind of see where it's going from the start, and they just waste so much time talking, and it never is interesting. They never have anything really meaningful to say that hasn't been said a million times. It's like the movie takes a very, very long time to tell the audience, hey, these are Nazis. Nazis are bad. Guess what? You don't have to tell the audience that. Believe it or not, I think people know that the Nazis are bad, which is why most, movies like this, movies like Indiana Jones, choose the Nazis as villains, because you don't have to sit there and explain for 20 minutes why those characters are bad. It's just, the audience knows, those are the bad guys. We need to see them die. This movie does waste a lot of time explaining to you why they are bad, and all of the sections between the action is not good, and it really drags this movie down. But when the movie is kicking ass, when it's just Henry Cavill and all the characters around him, this crew of, misfits, this crew of guys who are not really loved by their government, but they're being used by their government, they all do such a great job. The action scenes are so well choreographed, so well designed. This one where they're breaking a guy out of a prison camp is just so brilliantly done. The whole final act is really entertaining and fun, and that's what this movie is when it's at its best. It's just good, old-fashioned fun, and when it's at its worst, it is a sleeper. It is boring. It is just not worth watching. I compare this movie to Inglourious Basterds. I already said it before, but I feel like this was Guy Ritchie attempting to make it a similar movie to Inglourious Basterds. This ragtag group of guys, this ragtag group of misfits who join together and fight the Nazis. It's just Inglourious Basterds that added the benefit of having one of the best writers we've ever seen in Hollywood. A guy who can craft a magical story from nothing. He could have a movie about two guys talking about pooping, and it would probably be entertaining. The guy is a masterful writer, and he made Inglourious Basterds entertaining because he was able to build a plot and build characters that were worth listening to when they sat there and talked for 30 straight minutes. In this movie, it's not worth listening to these characters. It's worth watching them kill people. That's worth it. It's very entertaining. It's worth watching them be fun and enjoy themselves and what they're doing. That's fun. It's not worth listening to them talk. It's actually miserable listening to them talk. Let me talk about Henry Cavill, because he's so brilliant in this movie, and I feel like Henry Cavill has just been so disrespected by Hollywood lately. He got kicked out as Superman. He left The Witcher, whether it was on his own or not on his own. He's just been disrespected and disregarded. This man is brilliant in everything he's in. He elevates every film that he appears in. Not only is he a great actor, but he is a physical force on the screen. He's Superman. Unfortunately, James Gunn didn't see it, but you know what? It's okay. Give Henry Cavill more roles. This man should be the next James Bond. He should be doing everything he could possibly do at this point. They should be casting him in everything more than just these freaking Warhammer movies that he's barely making. Let's get more Henry Cavill, because he is what makes this movie, and there was not enough Henry Cavill in this movie. There's also a nice section of this movie on a train that I forgot to mention. It's probably the best part of the movie, if I'm going to be honest, outside of the big action set pieces. I just liked sort of the choreography of how these people were stealthing around and tricking the Nazis. It was just well designed. Guy Ritchie's a good director. I mean, he's a good filmmaker. He's a guy that works his ass off. I mean, he just released a massive Netflix series on The Gentleman like 2 months ago. Now he has this movie. This man released a movie last year. He's nonstop. He's just constantly working, and we appreciate that about Hollywood people, because there are some people that take 6, 7, 8 years to release one freaking film. This guy is every year has something, and although his movies are never amazing, they're never masterful, they always usually are entertaining. And although this one is clearly not my favorite one, it's not one that I'm going to go back and rewatch. I could see that a lot of people are enjoying this one. It has good action, it has fun characters when they're killing people, and you know, it's simple. It's British people killing Nazis. What more can you want? You know, other than like a good plot and good writing and good characters and less talking. Those things would help. So I'm going to give The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare a 2 out of 5. I thought it was just okay. What do you guys think of the movie? Let me know down below. I know this one was shorter, but I genuinely had absolutely nothing to say about this movie. Make sure to like this video and subscribe for more. Make sure to turn on notifications. Click the video on your screen right now, and I will see you guys in the next one.